Member for Toronto-Danforth.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'd like to address my question, obviously, to the Minister, and also like to thank the House Leader for giving us the opportunity to have more people in the House to listen to exactly why the government is shutting down debate again for the 95th time in this Parliament. It's Mr. Speaker, it's very clear that Bill C-50 is a bill that this government does not want Canadians to know about. It's only received 1 day of debate so far. They've had 6 months to push it through. Now, on a Thursday, with debate scheduled tomorrow for Friday on this bill, they want to slip through the fact that following Bill C-23, Bill C-50 is a deliberate attempt to suppress the votes of citizens abroad. There is a nonsensical creation of a barrier in this bill that will make it very difficult for many Canadians abroad to register in time to vote. The Minister knows that. There's also a stripping of powers of the Chief Electoral Officer to determine what ID is sufficient for citizens abroad. So there are all sorts of things that have actually not registered yet on the radar screen of the media or citizens. And one of the reasons that this government does not want this bill fully debated is exactly that when Canadians come to realize that it's a step 2 in the former Unfair Elections Act, they will resist along with the official opposition.
The Honourable Minister of State for Western Economic Diversification.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. First of all, to push back on some of my colleagues' false assumptions, I think it's worth noting that it was the NDP today that had tried to shut down debate and adjourn the House. So, Mr. Speaker, in terms of wanting debate today, I think that's a little rich. But talking to the form and substance of the bill here today, this bill speaks, of course, to the Frank ruling that came out in May of 2014, which has material impacts on the upcoming election. That's why it is prudent for the House to move forward and consider this bill as it deals with material changes that will impact voting process as a course of this ruling in the upcoming election, Mr. Speaker. I will point out, of course, though, that I did read my colleague's speech that he made in a previous round of debate, and he actually agreed with some of the content of this bill, including the need to ensure that the 40,000 non-citizens that are on the registry be removed, which this bill would provide for.